Welcome to Tailgate Talk. Happy Friday, Tommy. I am your host, Mike. My partner in crime, Tommy from the NSR. What's going on, bud?
What up, Mikey, the proud member you are of the Bobby Hart Foundation, Bobby Hart Fan Club. You must be excited. All those letters that you sent to McDermott to get this guy back on the team, it's finally worked. Congratulations.
Yeah, so I will tell you, I woke up this morning to some text from Paul saying, "Oh, you must have did your juju, bad juju. Why'd you do that to us?" So I told him, "Yeah, I'll talk about it tonight." You know, being heard, Bills Mafia clamming for an offensive lineman. We don't want Cody Ford. We don't want Cody Ford. We don't want Cody Ford. He said, "Fine, I got you guys. Here's Bobby Hart."
I got one better for you.
He said, "Here's Bobby Hart for you." So let's take a look and see who's in the room. We got Nathan in the house. We have Spin. Who else? Evan Anderson's in the house. So how you guys doing tonight? It's Friday. I'll tell you, I'm a little nervous this week, and we'll get into the breakdown and into all that stuff. But we'll want to start with the recap tonight. And I'm so nervous about this weekend and that O line. Spencer Brown getting put on COVID. It was a gut punch.
Yeah. It's like Star from last week.
Yeah, just a giant gut punch.
Yeah, man. I mean, that's the last thing we need is offensive line news. Bad news.
Spin, you are welcome to roast anybody you need to tonight. We're here to have some fun.
Listen, not me. Roast me. I didn't do nothing.
Oh, man. I see a lot of people in here talking about Burrito, and we'll get to that. So let's start with the recap. Last week, Bills came out. I was rather impressed with the game plan last week. We went away from what I was expecting us to do with more 3-4 wide receiver sets and went to a lot of 12 personnel sets. We had a lot of jumbo. I saw extra offensive linemen in there. I saw a fullback. I saw the return of motion and the jet sweep, the end around. Like what? We had the return of motion. And check that out. We had 3 big plays with the reverses, with the jet sweeps.
Yeah.
McKenzie scored. We saw Sanders take a long one, and then we even saw a toss sweep to Burrito. We had a Burrito sighting finally, and he scored 2 touchdowns. So that was nice. That was nice. We had 4 rushing touchdowns on the day that were non-Josh Allen touchdowns.
Surprising. Yep.
I was super excited about that. We saw Josh Allen just pick apart people with the play action. Once we started getting that run game going and the misdirection going, Josh had all kinds of time in the pocket. He maneuvered what he had to maneuver and was hitting digs deep. A lot of big ones, Diggs and Davis down the field.
100%. Yeah, I mean, they did they got to do a game plan like that. Like, they got to get the ball quick out of Josh Allen's hands. Sticking him in the pocket too long is not like last season, man, where Allen could just sit back and relax and chill out for a couple seconds, 3, 4, and pick who he wants to go to. It's like different now. So I kind of like, in a way, like that preseason third game, just don't get the quarterback hurt, get rid of the ball. Let's make it simple. And then that'll open up the big plays. I think that's kind of what happened. You saw. And then we got to go back to the whole, pass first, run second kind of mentality. Be pass aggressive to open up the run instead of the other way around. It just doesn't. We got to all come to terms with that. That's how this team's built. We are a pass heavy team that opens up the run instead of the opposite way. And we should all be good with that, because if they continue to do what we did last week, we'll be just fine. The defense will handle their business. It's when we go away from our offense and we try to do other stuff, it just doesn't go too well. Not with this offensive line.
Yep. So, and then on the defensive side, our defense made number 1 overall pick Mike White look like the 5th rounder that he was. Matter of fact, they made him look so bad that they're starting Joe Flacco this week. They made him look so bad that Flacco's starting. Oh God.
I said it. I called it in my pregame. I said, "You guys, like, it's funny to me, like all the hype around him.
Mhm.
Probably more in New York. The next coming of Kurt Warner over here. But I said, listen, he hasn't gone against a fucking defense like this. One, two, he hasn't gone
Mhm.
against a Leslie Frazier defensive coordinator who's probably one of the best in the game. He's going to eat him alive. I knew it was going to happen. And
Mhm.
exactly what you saw. That's the real Mike White. Will the real Mike White please stand up? And he
Right?
did. Okay.
He did, and I'll tell you, the media catches wind of something, and now it's Mac Jones. Now Mike White's been they put the flames out on Mike White. Now Mac Jones is the next poster boy. I mean, we've seen it. Duck Hodgins, Tyler Heineke, Mike White. Now it's Mac Jones is the next one up. Like, listen, guys, they check the ball down. They don't get in trouble, and then when they play a really good defense, they look like what they are.
Yeah,
So,
no doubt. Yeah.
it's just, oh God, it's gonna be. It's hard to watch the mainstream media nowadays because they just like grab a hold and their weekly biases is just so bad,
Oh yeah.
so bad.
They're the worst, bro. It's
Yep,
hard to watch. And the
it is.
weekly rankings are just ridiculous most of the time.
I don't
It
even
means
watch
nothing.
them.
It means nothing, by the way. It means absolutely nothing. At the end of the day, it means nothing. They're usually wrong. Like, or the favorites to win the Super Bowl are usually wrong. So yeah, remember when the Chargers were the best thing going in the NFL for a hot second?
Yep.
I mean, look
And
how
then it
that
was the
worked out.
Bengals. Then it was the Bengals were the
Yeah.
number. They're the 1 seed, and then
Yeah.
they disappeared. The
Yep.
Bills were
Yep.
the same thing. They were the
Oh
hot
yeah.
team.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it
I
happens.
mean, it's so week by week.
That's it.
It
That's
is
it.
what it is.
Got to get to the playoffs, then
Yep.
you run your game. Yep.
The whiteout game. Yep. Yeah, Scott comes in and says, "What a mess with the injuries and COVID." Like, oh God.
Gonna happen. Sucks,
Yep.
but it's gonna happen. Let's just hope it
It's
doesn't happen in the
happening.
playoffs.
Yeah.
That's all.
Let's get it all out now. Let's get it
Yeah,
all
man.
out now. So, then lastly, we had special teams was good last week. Bass is
Yeah,
money because that's what Bass is. He's money.
always. The
Hawk
punter's
wasn't bad.
terrible.
He wasn't
No,
bad last week.
he fucking sucks.
I
Listen,
know he's
he's
not
a great
consistent.
holder. He's not. He's a great holder, but you telling me that we can't find a punter that could do both? Like, I hope we can.
Obviously not. Obviously not. Because we
Maybe
haven't.
not this season.
Because
God,
we haven't.
he's bad.
I mean, like, just tell him to keep holding the ball correctly. Because if you go back and look, Hawk left Miami, and Jason Sanders was an
Oh, I
all-pro
know.
kicker,
Yeah,
and now he's missing shit because his
I get
holder
it.
sucks.
Hey,
You
I'm
know?
good with this. As long as he does that part, I'm cool with him.
Yep.
No problem.
So last week, our score predictions, you had it 27-9, I had it 21-17. The Bills
Yeah,
look like the Bills and put up monster numbers.
that's right.
For X Factors, you had Knox and Tre'Davious. Tre'Davious did get a pick. Knox was good in the run.
He played well. Yeah, exactly.
He
He just
didn't
didn't do
get
anything as
he
far
didn't get
as
very many targets, but we didn't
first
need him
game
to have a
back.
bunch of targets.
No. First game back too. Little
And
rust
then
there.
mine was Brown and Epinesa. Brown was a monster last game. Man,
Yeah.
and if he really is out for COVID, because they haven't done a designation for him yet. They
Okay.
haven't called him out yet this week
Officially. Okay.
officially. Because he has a chance to get back for Sunday's game. He just needs the 2 negative tests within 24 hours.
Okay.
And then Epinesa, he was chasing White around. I saw him creating pressure. Man, our secondary though, all 5 of them had a turnover.
Yeah.
And Jordan Poyer was itching at the bit once. He was the only one who didn't have one. He was the last one to get it.
Levi had a beautiful pick too. Levi read that.
Levi read it great. Trey White's
Oh, that
pick,
was a
he
tough
came
one
off
for
his
Trey.
guy
Yeah.
and played it perfectly. The one that was thrown to Tron was like that was
It was a
all
gimme.
our D line.
Yeah.
Obata got in there and hit him. Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah. We just can't get to we got to all realize now we're just not a sack team. This is not who we are. But I'm good with that. If the defense can continue to be number one in turnovers, number one overall, second against the run, I think we are first against the pass, or second or third against pass. I'm cool with that. First in scoring, whatever. If we don't get sacks, we don't get sacks. I'm cool with that.
So Scott Blakey comes in and asks,
yes,
Tommy, you still think of a blowout with all the players out? We'll get to predictions.
Scott's saying it because I did my prediction yesterday. But we'll get to that later. But yeah, isn't that crazy? I'm going back to my old ways, Mikey.
I told you I will never do that again for the rest of the year.
And that's you.
They will all be close. They will all be close.
Once you started following my trail, then it all started going downhill. Damn you, Mikey.
Hart coming back tells us how screwed we are at line depth. Hey, everyone was asking. They didn't want to see Cody Ford. So,
God, I don't know.
Bean picked up the phone and called Hart. I mean, you tell me there is, listen, I don't mind Hart. Everyone knows the running joke. I said I thought he might make the team coming out of training camp, and I became his number one fan club and president of it. But you're telling me we couldn't call Mitchell Schwartz, we couldn't call DeCastro or someone else out there,
or there's just a veteran. I swear to God, I would take an aging veteran. There has to be someone on a practice squad that's been around. Maybe he's lost, a touch, but he could do better than Bobby Hart. I has to be. There's no way.
Bobby Hart played average. Bobby Hart played average in Tennessee,
but they have a good overall. But they have a good overall line. I don't know, and maybe he's a better run blocker, pass blocker, bro. My God, in preseason, that was a disaster, bro. Guys were whiffing right past them, bro, with ease. That's what I'm afraid of, man. If that happens, my God, Allen, I'm just going to be screaming, run! Get out of there!
I think, and we'll get into this as part of the preview. Scott comes in and says if Starr and Edmonds are out, we're screwed. I don't think we are, because I believe Klein's a better run. I think he plays the run better than losing Starr is a big blow, but we have other guys that could fill in. Harry is a better run defender. So is Klein. So I actually think he'll help us in our run defense with that. So
that's what.
But we'll get into that. We'll get into that.
And to bring it up real quick, our defense, the next player up mentality, has worked for us pretty much the whole season. It's the offensive line next player up that's failed. So I believe in the next player up for the defense, not so much for the offensive line. So we'll be all right. But go ahead.
Yeah. So those touched on my main topics for the recap. Do you have anything else to put on the Jets game before we turn our attention to injuries and our preview?
I thought Dable finally did the correct thing by Josh Allen, and it was good to see, and it was pretty much exactly what I wanted to see, which was be smart with get the ball out of Josh Allen's hand quicker than normal, and get Isaiah McKenzie more involved. All the things that we've been yelling and screaming really since week one, it kind of clicked for him in that game, and it was it was really beautiful to see. And we still didn't play a perfect game, no doubt about it. But it was finally Dable woke up, I guess, and decided to call the right game, put it that way. So let's hope it keeps going.
Yeah. Yep. So we'll turn our attention over to the previews. We'll start with the injuries. So I have them down below. Right now, Spencer Brown and Starr are both on the COVID list, and Tremaine is questionable. Everyone else, I saw that both Milano and Beasley were limited all week, but they don't have any designation for the game, so they're going to play. On the Colts side, they have some guys on IR, but everyone that was there, they have nobody designated for this week. Everyone's playing. No one's questionable. So anybody who could be there is going to play. So, they come in rather healthy versus where the Bills are with a few guys down. So, it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. But I wanted to talk about stopping the run. Let's start with our defense, because we all know that Indianapolis's offense goes through the run game. Jonathan Taylor, knowing that Edmonds, Milano, and Starr Milano will be there, but he's banged up, and we're not sure what's going to happen with Edmonds and Starr right now. Having Klein step in, he's a good run stopper. He brings that power punch. I think what we do is we play like we did against Kansas City. We get physical with them, and we bring the house at times when we need to stop Taylor.
I don't. Yeah, I think. Listen, I just looked it up because I knew I was kind of close. So we're third against the run. I mean, we're very well ran defense against the run. This isn't like a year ago where we were just like letting running backs run all over us. Like I'm not really worried. Like I'm just not. Carson Wentz, I don't think he's having a great season. He's doing good, but nothing that's wowing me. But I will say this: he holds the ball a long time. I think he's 20th or 22nd in holding the ball, like the most seconds or whatever. So if we're gonna get to him, any quarterback, Carson Wentz is probably the guy. He is good against the blitz, but we don't blitz often, so I'm not really worried about that either. So I think defensively in this game, we're going to be just fine. It's all about the offense, Mikey. It's all about the offense, and we'll be just fine. If the offense does its job, we can all believe the defense will 100% do theirs. I just can't see us giving up a huge game to Jonathan Taylor and them just blowing us out. I just don't see it.
We played him last year, and he didn't have a huge game against us in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And I don't think their offensive line is as good as it was last year.
No, it's not. But it's
Fisher,
not bad.
No, it's not bad. Eric Fisher replaces Costanzo. I thought Costanzo was a better player.
He was.
Fisher's coming back from Achilles injury last year. He's not all the way back. Nelson got hurt early. He hasn't been the same Nelson this year because of it. You could tell that he's not fully back yet. All those little things go into it. And Wentz is good. He's good. He's not special. Yeah. He's good.
Right.
He can make the throws they need to make. He can put them on, but he also has that boneheaded play, once a game where he just, oh crap, and just throws it up. And the question is do our defensive backs come down with it, or does Michael Pittman Jr. come down with it? Because he did it against the Niners like 3 times, and he's done it a couple times where it's cost him.
We are number 1 in turnovers, Mike.
Yep.
So.
Yep. And they're number 2.
I just do want to throw that out there. They are number 2. They are number 2, but we don't really. We're not like a turnover. I got to look at the stats, but I don't think we turned the ball over that much. We're not really like a Josh Allen. What does he have? 5 picks on the season? I think 6 now, 5 or 6. That's not like he's throwing the ball crazy. Like this isn't the 2019.
6 and 3 in the last 2 games.
Yeah, but the Jets one that was a
That was a good play by the corner.
That was a good interception. That was a hell of an that was a hell of an interception.
It was a great play by the corner.
It wasn't like a shitty pass
No, because really the corner shouldn't have been there. He read the play and dropped off his guy to get into the throwing lane and deflected it, and it went to a guy. There's nothing, tip your cap to guys to throws like that.
Yeah, exactly. That wasn't a Josh Allen pick against the Jaguars. It was unnecessary,
You're right. You're absolutely right. It was just a great play by their defender, and it is what it is. Spin comes in and says the easiest way to limit Jonathan Taylor is to get out to an early lead. You're 100% right.
Yep. I think we got a super chat.
Thank you, V-Man. We appreciate it. Is my mom crazy for thinking Bill Murray isn't funny?
That's an interesting question, but she's crazy.
It's a quote. I don't know where the quote comes from.
I don't know. But I'll say it anyways if that's a quote. If that's a quote from it. But yes, I'll just say yes. I guess I don't know where that's from, but yeah.
Looking in here. Daniel Garris comes in and says, if you get enough pressure on Wentz, he can make mistakes. But if it's not pressured, he has clean pocket, he'll do damage. That's like most. That's like most quarterbacks. If you give them time,
100%. 100%.
I mean, in that big Mike White game, he had all the time in the world, so he threw for 400 yards.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, we pressure good. We just don't get the sacks. We're actually a high pressured. I think we're up there in pressures as far as the league leaders go, but we just can't finish it for some reason.
Yeah.
We just don't get the sacks. But we pressure the quarterback constantly. That's never the issue.
Yeah.
So I'm not worried about that. He will have pressure on him. Ed Oliver's been playing like a dog.
Yeah.
He gets to the quarterback more than you guys think. Harrison Phillips even got to the quarterback last week. So yeah, I know I'm not worried about our front getting to the putting pressure on Wentz at all.
I also have Jonathan Taylor in fantasy, and I'm expecting him to have a bad week.
Sit his ass because he ain't doing shit.
I ain't sitting him, but I expect him to have a bad week.
I don't play any fantasy. If there's a player on a team we're playing against, just a rule of mine, he sits on the bench. I don't care how good he is.
Oh, I like this one. Spin comes in and says Jonathan Taylor will have less than 100 yards rushing, but will have more than 100 yards total scrimmage yards.
I can see that.
And you know what? I can see that too.
Yeah.
Really, Taylor is kind of that key focal point. The one that is more of the X factor for me from their team is Hines. He's a little quick jackrabbit. And you get Taylor, bulldozing, and then all of a sudden you just get this little quick guy just a little scat back.
Yeah, I like Pittman too. I do like Pittman, but
yeah,
our corners are locked down. But he'll get his.
See, I have a hard time with this, because I like Frank. I like what he does. Frank Wright, legendary Bill. Will always, I normally root for the Colts when they're not playing the Bills. No, this week they got us, so I hope they all suck.
Right.
I have doubts that the D-line can get pressure against a very good O-line. Daniel, if you go back and look, their O-line has been giving up pressures this year. They're not the same O-line. Fisher is still trying to work his way back. So is Nelson, but usually on the left side is what is there. I mean, their right tackle is dominant, and he has been. And he's back. So, but even Kelly, their center, I was listening to Locked On Bills this week, and they brought in the Locked On Colts guy, and he was talking about it. And he said, the left side is a little shaky at times. Like they're great run blocking, but pass blocking they struggle. Kelly has not performed this year like he has in the past.
Yeah.
They're 5-5 for a reason.
Yeah, I thought their O-line was a little better last season for sure. I still think their O-line is good, like I said in the beginning, but they're definitely not what they were last season. I know, closeted Patriots fan. No. But I hate the Dolphins more than the Patriots. So if that means anything to you.
I don't. I hate the Patriots.
I don't know. I lived in Florida, so I can't stand them.
Yeah, I hate the Patriots. The Patriots are the evil empire. They're like the New York Yankees to me.
Yeah.
Hate them too.
Yeah, well. We'll take care of business. I'm not worried.
Taylor is the opposite of Kamara. Yeah. He's big, he's strong, but he's also really fast. Jonathan Taylor is the running back you build in a lab. He's a little bit of everything.
Yeah. He's a hell of a running back. Right now, because what's his name's hurt. He's the best running back in the league right now. I mean, he's tied with Henry. He's tied with Henry.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, he has speed. He can hit the hole good. He's definitely a tough running back, but I think we're gonna control the. I don't see him going over 100 rushing yards against us. I just don't.
He's Spin comes in and says Taylor's more dangerous than Henry. I don't think he's more dangerous.
No, hell no.
He's a better receiver than Henry is. He has better hands. I don't think he's more dangerous. Henry is a unicorn.
Yeah, the problem with Henry is he's such a big, powerful dude that he doesn't always start games hot. He wears teams down. That's what is so dangerous about Henry. He brutally messes that players up. It's a dominant game. He's dominant, man. So by the third and fourth quarter, the defense is tired of Derrick Henry running into him. So that's why Derrick Henry's average, I think, is higher in like the third and fourth quarter of games, which is crazy. You would think he would be opposite. He's winded. He's tired. No, man. Henry's numbers are higher.
Yeah.
So no, he's more dangerous than Taylor
Yeah,
for sure.
but by the fourth quarter, no one wants to tackle Henry. He's just
No, that's what I mean. They don't want. They're
giant
done.
Freaking a bowling ball. He reminds me of he reminds me of kind of the bus, Jerome Bettis. You know, back in the day, that's what Jerome Bettis did. Just pound you for 2 yards, 2 yards,
Well,
3 yards,
a lot fast.
He's
yards, faster.
5 yards. He's
fast.
bigger and faster, and you know, not as chunky as Jerome Bettis.
Or you could bring up Christian Okoye. The only problem with Christian Okoye was he didn't really know the football. He didn't know how to like position his body better. But he was super fast and huge. He just didn't know how to like leverage his body well, or catch footballs. He was terrible.
Derrick Henry looks like a defensive end.
Yeah,
he looks like a defensive end playing running back.
So did Christian Okoye. You ever see Christian Okoye?
Yeah,
that dude was
huge, he wasn't as sculpted. Like,
what? Are you crazy? Go look at Christian Okoye was a Olympic guy. He was huge. That guy was sculpted, bro. Like, bro, Christian Okoye was no joke. Like, that was a big dude. He didn't bend his body well, so running backs could go low, and he was done. Like, he was fucked.
Mistro comes in and says the Dolphins have the mouthiest fan base in the AFC East. And what's funny is they don't show up to the games, yet they're all over social media.
Online, they're the worst online.
God. You know,
but you're right. They don't show up to the games, though.
They don't show up to games, but they're all over freaking social media. God, man. And even when you smack them down and you beat them twice and they have no chance of, beating you beat them like 5 straight or 6 straight times or whatever it is, they still
72
talk crap.
Dolphins.
They still talk crap.
That's all I hear.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Captain D probably gives it to you a bunch of
undefeated. Yeah. I heard it.
Yeah, you spin, and that's what we're talking about. Henry had a bunch of good, had 2 good runs against us, and the rest were a bunch of 2-yarders. It's just a matter, and really that one long run was because of holding that they didn't call, but we won't get into that.
Right.
So going in, we talked about, stopping the run. So I want to talk to you a little bit about the O-line and the Bills O-line. Who's going to replace Brown? There's options. They brought in Bobby Hart. They have the option of Bates. They have the option of sliding Williams back out to tackle, even though I hope they don't, because he looked horrible against the Jags. I can only imagine what that D-line would do to him out at right tackle right now. He's better at guard. Like my perfect O-line with Brown out would be Dawkins, Butker, only because we have to. And I'd really like to see Douglas get a run in there with Morris, Williams, and Bates. I would love to give Bates the first shot. And I truly believe Hart's back only because they gave Doyle one chance last week and he gave up a sack. And it wasn't even close.
It was bad. It was bad.
The Nigerian nightmare was no joke. You're right.
I'm telling you.
I think Tecmo Bowl. Back in the day, Tecmo Bowl. You run with him. Him and Barry Sanders were the 2 that you really wanted to run with back in those days.
Yeah. Led the league in rushing one year.
Spin comes in and says, I want to see Bates at right tackle. Yeah, I agree. Leave the interior and put Bates out there. Give him a shot. I don't understand.
Something's wrong. I don't know. There has to be something we're not seeing in practice.
Why have him on the roster if we're not going to use him? Like I've seen him play
for the center
left
position?
tackle, but I've seen him play left tackle, guard, and center, and he's done well every time he's gotten the opportunity. But we never give him the opportunity.
Yeah, I don't get it. Like I saw him when he came in and filled in for Morse last season. I remember. I thought he did a hell of a job, man. He did a really good job.
We went down, we scored a touchdown, and then they yanked him out and put in Mongo.
Yeah. Which Mongo, he fares well at center too. I don't mind him at center either. Like I think he has a good thing with Josh Allen there. Like Josh Allen trusts him at center as well. Like I don't mind that either. If we let's say if we keep Mongo next season, but as a center, because let's say, God forbid, he retires. I wouldn't mind that if you could fill in a good left guard,
Mm-hmm.
but
Yeah.
we'll see.
Thank you, Scott. We really appreciate all the super chats and the donations. It helps 26 Farms immensely. Scott comes in and says, as a fan, I'm still perplexed by the Jags loss. You and me both, brother. I have zero confidence in which teams we will see, but for certain we can't drop any more. I can see us losing 2 more and still winning the division, but we can't lose more than 2. Tommy?
We can't lose to the listen. We can't lose to the Patriots. If we lose to the Patriots, it's going to be tough sledding. I'm telling you right now. The Tampa game, I'm not, I thought we would have a tougher time maybe against them coming up. But they're beatable. Listen, they got beat by Washington, who we took care of with ease. So that game I'm not too worried about. It's the Patriots games. Those are the ones that they have a good defense. I'm not worried about the Colts. Those 2 games are the most important on the schedule. Those fucking Patriots. If we could take care of business against the Patriots, we'll be fine. No matter what happens the rest of the season. Losses wise, if we drop one to Tampa, let's say. As long as we can control those 2 games against New England, we win the AFC East, in my opinion, and we're good to go. But if we lose those games, Houston, we have a problem.
When we lost to Pittsburgh, it was like, oh, what happened? You know what I mean? And then we went on a small little run. And then we had the Josh Allen slip against Tennessee. I'm like, okay, things are gonna happen. I expected us to lose one of those games. I figured we'd trip up. The loss to the Jags is the one that is the one that's just
that's
so painful. I'm with Scott on that one. I'm just like,
it stings.
What
It
does. At some point, we've lost our ability to slip up anymore by losing to the Jags.
But I will say this to counter that. Yes, it was a terrible loss by a fucking awful team, but we had a hell of a bounce back game to counter that. Even though it was a bad team we played, to our defense, the Jets did beat 2 decent teams,
mm-hmm.
and everybody was saying how the Buffalo Bills didn't beat anybody better than the Jets had. The Jets' 2 wins are better than what we did, and we manhandled the Jets with ease. So if there's any satisfaction to that, I would take that, because that was a great bounce back. Because let's say, hypothetically, Mikey, we win that game 13-10. I think today we're having a different conversation. I think we're very worried. I think we're talking extensively what is going on with this team, offensively. I mean, but we scored 45 points. Maybe we could have scored more. My point is that was a great bounce back. I think Bills Mafia should feel a little bit better after that win. And if we beat the Colts, I think Bills Mafia will now be back on track where, okay, we're going to be okay. So yeah, I think this game is important for that statement.
We have a 4-game stretch coming up that is going to tell us everything we need to know.
Yeah.
And Sean, we appreciate the donation and the super chat. He comes in and he asks, might be kind of early to ask, but who do you think makes the playoffs for the AFC, and where do you think the Bills seed? I'll tell you after this 4-game stretch. Exactly. Because this is going to tell us everything we need to know. We got the Colts Sunday, then we got the Saints on Thursday, and then we come back with
New England
the
Monday night.
Yeah, Monday night against the Patriots, and then we have actually it's a 5-game, because then we have the Bucks, and then we have the Patriots
on the road.
Right. Yeah, and then we have the Patriots again. So we have a 5-game stretch here that's going to tell us everything we need to know.
That's what I said. 100%.
And then if we go 4-1 in those 5, I think we're going to end up with a top 2 seed.
Yeah.
I really do.
Yeah. No doubt. I will say this. Here's the tricky question. I'll ask you, Mikey, and then even the chat. When Tennessee plays New England, who are we going for in that game? Isn't that a tricky kind of
Tennessee? I absolutely. I want to see the
I
Patriots
don't
lose it
know.
every
It's
chance I can
I
get.
do,
I am
but
sick of hearing about
cheating
Mac
wise,
Jones being this
I get it.
all-world Tom Brady. The dude has played 10
I
games
know.
and he checks
I'm
it
torn.
down. He threw
I'm torn.
he threw one touchdown last night and had one interception. The Patriots are winning because of their defense. Much like when the Bills win recently has been
Oh
because
yeah,
of their defense.
100%.
You
No, I
know,
agree, but I'm talking about overall seeding. We're trying to get that one. I don't. It's that's a tough one, bro, Mikey. I gotta admit, like I'm kind of leaning towards cheering for the Pats to win. Because to get us
can
back on
you
that spot.
imagine? Can you imagine what the Pats fans are going to say if they beat the
True,
Titans and we don't?
but if we handle the Patriots both games, then who cares? It doesn't matter after that. You know what I mean? Then we're back at the top of the AFC. I'm good with that. I'm okay with that. You know, I don't know. I don't care
I
what
don't
they
know.
think.
I don't know.
That's a tough
I
one.
mean,
You got to
the
admit.
Patriots have a rough go too because they get the Titans, the Colts, and us twice.
Right.
So they have a 4-game stretch that's rough too. We have a 5-game stretch because we have the Bucks that are tossed in there.
That's correct.
So like the next few weeks is going to tell us our entire season, one way or the other.
100%.
I believe we're going to make the playoffs because I believe we're one of the best 7 teams. But our O line is going to dictate where we seed.
100%. Oh, and Dable and the play call. Listen, Mikey, the O line is what we are. Let's all agree to that right now.
Yeah,
the O line is what. This is it, guys. There is us dreaming of signing some magic free agent out there or picking up a practice squad. It's not happening. Clearly, we picked up Bobby Hart, right? Forget that. This is who we have. Here we go.
mm-hmm.
We are a below average offensive line. Let's just hope they can get to average, and Dable can put Allen in better positions to work with this O-line's bad, shitty play, and we'll be okay. But if we don't, we're fucked. I'll be honest.
Mm-hmm. Like our entire everything rides, like our weekly chances rides on our O line.
Yeah.
And can they protect Josh?
100%. Yeah, no doubt. You listen. I was telling you before we went on. What they need to do with this shitty O-line, okay? They have to almost treat it like a preseason game, like preseason 3, right? Listen, we want the starters in there, but we don't want them hurt. Let's just get the ball out of here. Let's get it under, 2.5 seconds. Simple plays. I think we could do that. Let Diggs get yards after catch.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get our playmakers to do plays for the team. It's besides Josh Allen running for his life and trying to do everything on his own. I think we'll be just fine. That will open up the bigger plays. I'm telling you. So let's keep Allen clean by getting rid of the ball quicker. I know it's not like exciting football. We're not going deep all the time, but it will work. I'm telling you, it will work. We have enough playmakers on this team where it can work.
Yeah, no, I agree. We need to go back to what we did against the Jets. Get our playmakers involved early.
Yeah.
We talked about it last week on Tailgate Talk where we said we needed to get Diggs involved earlier in the game.
Yes.
And we did this week, and we saw what happened. He ended up going 8 for 166 and a touchdown.
Yeah.
The Colts secondary isn't that good. It's a matter of can we control their defensive line. The whole thing, and I put this on my sheet, it's going to be, can we win the trench war? Both sides of the ball. That's where this game against the Colts is going to come down to. It's the trenches. On offense, can we give Josh a long enough time to get the ball out to our skill guys? And defensively, can we stop their run? If we can stop their run and turn them into a passing team, Carson Wentz does not do well when it all falls on him.
Right. And then also, too, what I liked, Breida out of the backfield for catching. Because he's fast. He can create a bigger play than, let's say, Singletary or Moss would because of his speed. We could set up a screen pass. Even though we're bad at screen passes, he's still very fast. He would pick up more yards than a Singletary would. So it worked last week. I did not mind Breida, but Breida as a primary running back, I still don't trust. I didn't like what I saw on the fumble. That you can't do that.
No.
But other than that, he played good. I thought the play that Allen got to him to pass, where
Mhm.
Allen was rolling out, that was not by design. That
No.
Breida
He played
took
backyard
off.
football.
It
They
was
played backyard
yeah.
football with him.
They were on the same page.
Yep.
And I'm glad Allen didn't decide to run. He saw exactly what Breida was doing. Perfect. So I don't know
Yeah.
if Singletary does that or he has the speed to take off like that.
I don't think he has the speed. I can see him taking off like that. I don't know if he has the speed there to get past the defender to where Josh can fit it between the two guys like that.
100%. 100%.
You know, also on the toss, as much and I love Moss and I love Singletary and what they do because they're shifty. They make guys miss. They can run over guys. But that toss play where he was able to hit it and get to the second level quicker than the other two guys ever would. That play doesn't work with the other two guys.
100%. So that's what I'm saying. I don't mind him being now. I hope they continue to do that. He doesn't need to be a primary running back, but I love him in there for certain situations. I think it will work for sure.
Yeah, no, I agree 100%. And it all comes down to those trenches. I want to see more of what we did last game. I want to see more of the 12 personnel. Let's line up Bates as a tight end. You know, let's get Reggie Gilliam in the game as a fullback and run those play actions. You know, because when we run those play actions, that keeps, you know, Bates in, it keeps Gilliam in to help the offensive line. And then run the 2 or 3 man routes against those and let our skill players create separation.
Exactly. Get the yards after catch.
Yep.
Exactly. And just continue. I also like an up tempo offense to keep the defense backpedaling. I like when we go up tempo as well. We don't do it enough. I feel like when we do it, it's just better. Like we just click better. The defense is backpedaling. I prefer that. I want Allen a little bit more out of the pocket. If they can get him rolling a little bit more, like that's what we do. That's what opens up the offense. That's what gets the playmakers involved more. Like Allen sitting in the pocket scares the shit out of me, man. It really does.
I don't like him in the pocket. I like the play action rolls because he did that a lot. You know, where last week he would fake the stretch play and roll back into the pocket and then step up and be able to maneuver. I want to see more of that. Right. You know what I mean? You know, I want to see more of the motion, the jet sweep fakes.
Oh, dude.
The jet sweep gives, the reverses, the misdirection.
Yes, you got to get the defense honest, right?
Yeah, well, not only that, but with Tennessee, if you go back and watch, I watched the 49ers game because I'm on the West Coast. And, you know, when the 49ers scored before before the Colts took over that game, they opened it up and they ran misdirection the entire drive. And they were not prepared for it. Then they went away from the misdirection and they got stomped.
Yeah, no, I love it. Dude, Mikey, I loved it when Dable implemented that into the play calling. He did it a lot last season. It worked. So I loved it. Like I really did. And we did a lot of motions last season that we talked about this. It was nowhere up until last week. And look how successful it was. I'm hoping Dable got his mind right. And we talked about this. It's very possible, guys. I'm serious. He had lots going on with Dable, right? With his family. Maybe his mind just wasn't all there in football this season. And I'm hoping now maybe it is. Maybe he's getting back on track to football. Because last week was exactly what I like Dable calling. Those are the type of plays that makes us successful. Go ahead, Mike.
Well, I liked what McDermott did because McDermott said we're fixing those. We're making the changes that need to be made. So he's realized the offensive line couldn't block on a five-man protection. So he brought in like the extra guys, the fullbacks, and you know. Honestly, we can do that. We have receivers that can win in a 2-man route. It's okay. And you have a quarterback to where if the guys don't, he can make enough time back there to get them open.
Right. No,
you know,
no doubt. No
doubt. I like this one. Trixon says we cannot let Josh Allen be in the shot because this O-line's not good enough. Yeah. He needs to be like last week. He needs to be under center. Do the play action. I'm okay with some shotgun stuff. However,
depending on the play call. Yeah, 100%.
You know, I'm okay with some of the shotgun stuff, but I want to see more of what we saw last week, where we stacked the line with extra blockers.
Yeah.
We kept guys in, and we kept Josh clean. Let our skill guys do the work. Diggs, Sanders, Beasley, Davis, Knox, all those guys can create separation on their own. It doesn't have to really be schemed. Protect is the key word.
I'll tell you what else that Dable did that we didn't really talk about. Well, he didn't do as much. RPOs. Last week, I don't remember many, if any. And he was running the shit out of RPOs for the first 9 weeks, right? It was ridiculous. Like it's like every team knew Josh Allen 99.5% of the time was taking the ball. It was a disaster. You're getting our quarterback killed. It's not working. The O-line's not good enough. Stop it already. And you could do it here and there, but come on, man. Like, and I thought last week, thank God, the quarterback draws, right? Like, took a lot. He dialed those crappy calls back. That
Josh ran twice last week. That was it.
That's right. See, exactly.
He ran twice.
I prefer Josh running when it's not a play call, to be honest with you. I prefer when it's just Josh going, you know what? It's not open. I'm going. I'm good with that because it's not a play call. It's just not scripted. Josh is doing. That's what I prefer, not the fucking RPO, the quarterback draw. Like, stop that. You're in there.
Right here, you know, Autumn comes in and says, wonder if the Colts will run that too high that's been plaguing us. That's not their base defense. The Colts don't run the cover 2 shell. That's not what they do. They run cover 3, cover 4. Like, if they try to do cover 2 like everyone else does, that's going to put them at a disadvantage because that's not what they do well. So if they do that, it's, you know, it's more of a win for us. That's fine. If they run that too high shell and they give us the running lanes and we're running those 2 tight end sets, those 12 personnel sets, that's advantage Bills.
Yeah. Scott, I see Scott's question. I see week 1 was different than the Jags. I don't know if the Jags played the same style of defense as Pittsburgh did. It was just that Jag game was just a fucked up game.
Well,
it was
that
not
Jags
like the Steelers
game. They made our offensive line turnstiles. It wasn't the same as the Steelers because the Steelers played a solid, you know, too high coverage because that's what they do.
Yeah,
and then they turn loose, you know, TJ Watt and that defensive line.
And don't forget, and I got to keep going back to it. The red zone was 2 for 6 or something. We should have won the game if we weren't so terrible in the red zone. That's 1. 2, Josh Allen threw for like 57 times. And a lot of those play calls were ridiculous deep. Like
we ran a lot of 4 and 5 receiver sets that week. We didn't run any of the double tight play action, any of that.
Right. The Jags game, we got beat up on the O-line. Plain and simple. And the play calling.
They punched us in the mouth.
Yeah. They punched us in the mouth, and Dable had no answer. And that was the real problem. That was it. We had no answer. And I think we learned from that, and I'm hoping. And I'm hoping Dable learned from that and the coaches. Trust me, Allen has lost his voice after the game. I've never heard Allen so pissed. And I think, like I said earlier, the team responded. And they responded very well. So let's see this week, right? If we have another good-looking game on offense, we'll be okay, guys. I'm telling you.
Yeah, no, I agree 100%. Scott comes in and says, same premise. Drop in zone and roll through our shitty line. You know, same premise. You're right. It is. The difference was this last week. What we saw was, okay, our O line can't do it, so we gave them help. Something we've been screaming at for weeks.
Yes.
Give them help. Where's the chip? Where's the extra blockers? You don't have to send 8 guys out in routes. It's okay to you know only send 2, 3, 4 guys out in a route and have extra blockers. You know, and we did that this week. And I really, really hope it wasn't just a Jets game plan, and that's what we're going to see down the line, because especially this week without Spencer Brown, you know, we're gonna need that help.
Right.
You know, Buckner and Stewart on the inside are monsters. And then they have a couple rookies that Dan something or other, some weird name out of Vanderbilt, and Kwity Paye. as you know, they have a great front seven. They have a shaky secondary. Give Josh time, run those play actions, let Diggs and Sanders and Beasley and McKenzie. I saw someone in here earlier say get McKenzie more involved. McKenzie was great last week.
Yep.
When we use that guy, we win.
Yeah, all the time. Don't forget Knox. Knox was not playing in the Jags game. He's a very good blocker. He's a playmaker. He's there for Josh too. Tommy Sweeney does not provide what Dawson Knox provides on offense.
Alpha Rob. So you're saying we should have kept Lee Smith? No, I'm not saying we should have kept Lee Smith.
Penalty city for that guy.
I would like to see more of Bates playing tight end.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
I was done with the Lee Smith thing. I respect him. He is a good. He was a good.
Did you
blocker,
watch him last night?
Penalty city.
He looked horrible last night against the Patriots.
I'm sure he got penalties. Did he get penalties? I'm sure there was something.
No, he didn't cause any penalties.
Ooh, I'm shocked.
But he definitely didn't help their O line. Okay. That's for damn sure.
Okay.
The Patriots were all over Matt Ryan.
Oh, that was bad. Their O line stinks. I don't know which is worse, ours or theirs, but that was bad.
Have we had a single QB sneak since Tennessee? Nope.
Thank God.
Nope, we run the ball. We've handed it off to the guys who were paid to run.
Yeah, I don't want to see that. I don't.
You know, Dable needs to step up. He'll end up coaching the Jets next year. I don't think Bob Sala's going anywhere.
No, he's not. Think Bob Sala's going anywhere. Yeah, you got to give him longer than a season. Yeah, 100%. But man, the rate Dable's going, I don't know.
Like he's still highly regarded within the league. I think he'll get interviews. I don't know if he's going to get a job because
Frazier. Yeah, I was saying last night on my show, Mikey, if Frazier doesn't get a job, I gotta say something's wrong then in the NFL. Yeah, I know it's a weird little point there, but I'm being for real. If Frazier really wants the job. Let's say he does, which I believe he does because he came out and said he was a little disappointed he didn't get any offers. If he goes out and really wants a job and he doesn't get hired, there is a problem in the NFL. There's no, Mikey, I'm telling you right now, if anyone deserves it, he deserves a job for sure. So he's probably gone next season. I would be shocked if Leslie Frazier doesn't get hired as a head coach. If he doesn't, like I said, there's something wrong.
There is. I think he's going to get a job somewhere. I don't know if Daboll's going to get a job. I think he should.
That scares me.
because you have like the Matt Moores who are now highly prevalent, and you have the Joe Brady's who's coming on. So you have guys who are out there that guys because they're looking for that next offensive genius. Right. I hope Daboll gets it because I want to see what a new offense coordinator can do, Dorsey. And I think it's gonna be Dorsey. I really do think it's gonna be Dorsey, and I'm really interested because that relationship that Josh and Dorsey has is huge, and I'm interested to see what kind of twist Dorsey can bring to the Bills.
100%. And by the way, a new offensive line coach, please.
Or either a new O-line coach we better draft a bunch of interior O-linemen this offseason. Like, God.
But you said earlier to your point, I think 2 weeks ago, is it a Bobby Johnson thing?
I don't know if it's a Bobby Johnson thing.
That's scary, right? Let's say you bring in guys. Let's say we draft guys and they're still, let's say we still stink. Where are we going now? Where are we pointing the finger now, right?
Well,
so it's like,
yeah, and I don't know if it's a Bobby Johnson thing because really Bobby Johnson has been given Cody Ford as a raw talent, and he's been given Spencer Brown and Tommy Doyle. Really, everyone else has been veterans. That's come
true.
Up. So Spencer Brown looks like he is getting better every week.
Yeah,
Cody Ford has been a bust, and Tommy Doyle was so raw it's hard to say one way or the other. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So but it's up to him to say who recommendations, right? Cody Ford ain't working out. Like we need to keep this guy or don't drop Quinn Spain or don't trade Teller or so who knows? I don't know what's behind closed doors.
The whole
I have no idea.
White Teller thing. He was the one guy that had value that we could trade, and we used that pick on Tyler Bass.
I get it.
So
still,
It is what it is.
Yikes.
Coming in here, Spen comes in and says Bill still have the number 1 scoring offense. We're playing one last game. I don't think we do. I think we have the number 2 scoring offense.
Yeah,
we have the number 1 point
look.
differential in all of football, but I think we're the number 2 scoring offense.
We are. That's a good question. So we are. So let's see here. Well, in total offense, we are 5th.
We're 5th into but scoring.
Yeah, Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. We're second behind Dallas. We're behind Dallas.
Yeah, Scott comes in and says, right. Yeah, so we're number 2. That's what I thought. Scott comes in and says that both coaches can get jobs if they start balling out. I agree. Yeah, that's what I thought. We have the number 2 scoring offense.
Yeah, 31 a game, basically.
Yeah.
We're right behind Dallas. Dallas is
31. And we're complaining about our offense right now, saying it all depends on what our offense can do. And we have the number 2 scoring offense.
Dude, you know what? I brung that up. That's funny. Because we have Jack in the chat. Jack was like, oh, this offense, whatever. And I'm like, believe it or not, for as shitty as our offensive line has been, and I told him we were number 5 because we are total offense. And he's like, no way. I'm like, yeah, we're number. So for as bad as our offensive line has been playing, we're still putting up points. So what does that go to tell you? I mean, we're not. Calm down, people. Like I think we're gonna be okay, even with this bad offensive line.
Oh, Spen Kimden says we're the number 1 scoring offense. We're number 2 on team scoring. I don't know. I don't get into that advanced metrics. So I'll take your word for it, Spen.
Yeah, team scoring number 2 to 31.1.
Yeah.
Dallas 31.
Either way, we're scoring. We have the largest point differential in football, and it's by a big margin. I think we're like 140 something, and the next closer to the Patriots and the Cardinals at plus 98.
Yeah. I mean, overall.
Spence says Dallas has like 5 defensive touchdowns. Yeah, I know that. And I think like 3 of them are Trayvon Diggs.
Yeah, he's a beast. I wanted to draft him so bad.
So did I.
Dallas scooped him up, bastards.
They took him, and then like two picks later, we took Epinesa or something like that.
I know. I had a feeling we were going to take him if he was there. We should have. That guy's a stud. I was like, man, that would have been so cool to have the Diggs brothers on our team.
Right?
Yeah.
Right?
That didn't work out.
That would have been awesome. Scott comes in and says yards is different than points. What it tells you is we can't score in the red zone. Yeah,
we know
red zone's been the bugaboo this year, and I know Tommy's been screaming it from the rooftops since week 1.
Yeah, a lot of 2 games.
We've lost because
2 games
of red zone.
we should have won. Yeah, Pittsburgh we should have won because of red zone. Tennessee. Those 2 right there. I'm telling you.
I mean, really, all three losses.
Even the Jags.
We had a chance the Jags game, and we kicked field goals.
100%, Mikey. 100%. So let's say 3.
Yeah, all 3 games we lost is because we didn't capitalize in the red zone.
We didn't execute.
Red zone's 100%. Been our bugaboo.
It's been a problem. Got to fix that. Got to fix it before the playoffs. Because listen, playoffs you can't be doing no field goals. It's you know what the outcome's going to be? Kansas City scoring 3 points before the half. Not good.
Yeah, comes in here and says, but let's be real. We use against other teams, but we got to check ourselves. Who have we beat? I
don't know if I agree with that though.
I don't go into that all that often because you play who's on your schedule. I'm not the guy that says, oh, they haven't beat anybody. I don't care who's on your schedule.
I'm not like I'm with you, Mike. That somebody said that to me the other day, and it like ticked me off because it was like a Dolphin fan when we lost against Jags. Like, oh, you guys haven't played anyone. So listen, we play who's on the schedule. We beat the Chiefs, who, by the way, Chiefs are on now. They're feeling it. They still have a very good offense. We manhandle the Chiefs. So I don't say that's just a bad team. We beat them. We should have beaten Tennessee. Fine, we lost. That's number 1 team right now in the power rankings, and we should have won. We beat Washington, who, by the way, manhandle Washington, who just beat the Super Bowl champions. So listen, we beat the Dolphins handily, who have looked pretty well the last 3 games. So I don't want to hear it's just listen. All teams are tough in the NFL. You're going to run into a game. It sucks, like the Jaguars, where we don't look so good and we lose.
Dude, this is just wonky.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. So other than that, listen, the Steelers are not a shitty team, and we should have won. Okay, Washington's not as bad as people think, and they beat Super Bowl champions. They've beaten other teams. Taylor Heinicke has looked okay against certain. So I don't buy into that. Who have you played crap? It's about just executing, winning your games, and that's all. Get into the playoffs.
It's funny that a Dolphins fan said, "Who have you beat?"
Can you believe that?
We've smacked them down twice this year.
It blew my mind. I told him, bro, you're gonna come to my room talking shit
when after we smacked you down this year twice.
Right. Get out of here with that.
I mean, the Jets beat the Bengals. The Broncos beat the Cowboys. Like, it's just been a weird year.
Yeah,
across the board. Like, so it doesn't any.
And who else did the Jets beat? Who else did the Jets beat?
Jets beat the Titans and the Bengals.
Right. Yeah. Exactly my point. So come on, man. Like, so you're gonna say who has Tennessee really beaten? They lost.
The Patriots lost to the Dolphins.
Right. So I don't buy into the whole who have you beaten thing. It's about it's about the end of the season. Here it is. Here it is. The second half of the season. This is where this is where it boils down to. So we'll talk at the end of the season. That's about who you beat.
Yep.
Super Bowl. All right.
Mike comes in. Yeah, Mike comes in and says we'll have more quality possessions from here on out. Our next month is full of teams that typically don't give the ball away. So yeah, our schedule, like we went over, our next 5 is some of the hardest you're gonna have. Colts, Saints, Patriots, Bucks, Patriots, and Colts Saints are 2 games in 4 days.
Yep.
So here we go. Buckle up, Mafia. We're about to find out what we're really made of. At the end of this 5-game stretch, we'll know exactly what we're dealing with, what we're working with.
Yeah. We'll know where we stand. Listen, guys, last season, if you remember, we finished it very well after that heartbreaking loss to Arizona. We went on a run. And I remember people were worried after that game. I remember it like it was yesterday. And we we went on a tear. So,
but really we didn't because we came back out of the break and barely squeaked by the Chargers. And then we went on a run.
But we won. It don't matter. Squeak by, win. We went on a roll. After that, even the defense, which was playing bad all season, if you remember, up to that point, started to finally find themselves. And maybe the offense. Hey, maybe we get lucky and the O-line does the same when Spencer Brown and Mongo gets back. Maybe they start getting in the rhythm and play collectively better and become average. I'll take average. I swear to God, Mike. Yeah. I'll take an average O-line.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you on that.
I can't do it.
At the end of the day, here comes in and says it's nice to hear because it's any given Sunday, but people love to say, "Who have you played? Who has X played?" You know what? And I will tell you guys, ignore it. I do my best to ignore that. I randomly watch the national media because they talk about it all the time. And they're like, "Oh, I told you at the beginning of the year this team was going to be good." But for the last 6 weeks, they've crapped on them. Now that they're playing better, it's like, oh, like this week, it's, Mac Jones and the Patriots are Super Bowl contenders. Pump the brakes. Their defense is a Super Bowl defense. They are legit defensively. That offense, if they play a good defense, like just a week ago, Mike White was the second coming of Kurt Warner, and everyone better be on lookout. And they played the Bills, and now he's on the bench. So,
by the way, and Jets fans were screaming Flacco in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
They were chanting Flacco's name. So, boy, did the Jets fans turn mighty quick on Mike White.
Yeah.
Mike White had been going, fuck, man. What kind of damn it.
Yeah. That's my take. People can say what they want to say. At the end of the day, I just ignore most of it.
Yeah. It means nothing at the end of the day.
So, Spin comes in and says Brown's probably going to be out for the Saints game. Star can miss that game too. Brown hasn't even been ruled out for this game yet. So if he's out for this game, I could see him missing this game and
it's possible.
The Saints game.
Right.
Now for Star, he missed last week. So if he misses this game, I could see him being back.
Yeah.
This is the last week Mongo is on IR. He could be back also next week. So guys should be coming back over the next week or two. But you play with the people you got.
Next man up.
Next man up. You know, so okay, let's get into this. Prediction time, Tommy. Prediction time.
I'm back,
What you got?
baby. I'm back. 41-19. I am back.
Wow.
41-19. We take care of business yet again. Dable, as long as he sticks to what I say. Dable, are you listening? Stick to what I say. We'll be just fine. 41-19. I think we handle our business. By the way, guys, at home, we will be fine. We got the Mafia behind us screaming loud. We've been waiting, right? We'll be fine.
And I think it's going to be 24-17. I do. I think they're going to keep it close. I think in the second half, Josh is going to make some plays happen. And probably with about 5 minutes to go, we're going to go up 24-10, and then they're going to drive down, and we're going to play in that stupid shell. They're going to score a touchdown, and then they're going to try an onside kick. We'll get it, and the game's going to end 24-17.
All right, we shall see.
Yep. All right, give me your X factors, Tommy. Offense, defense.
Offense, X factor. I am going with Emmanuel Sanders. Okay, because he. By the way, he had a good game last week, and he had 2 calls.
Yeah,
2 really good catches. Go back on the same kind of a call. Penalties on both sides. I felt so bad for him. So I think Emmanuel Sanders has a good game because they're going to be really covering Diggs pretty good, probably doubling him. Who knows? I think Sanders, and then on defense, I'm gonna go Ed Oliver. I think Ed Oliver's been playing sensational. I think he's gonna get to Wentz, and he's gonna make some plays in the backfield. And by the way, if I can give a side note X factor, I know it doesn't count. AJ Klein, if I can throw that in there,
Klein.
I think.
Okay, yeah.
By the way, we didn't really touch on Klein. I just want to say something. That guy, man, I shitted on that guy last season for the first half because he did not play well for the first couple games we needed him. But boy, he turned it around the second half of last season, and this season, I couldn't ask for a better professional backup than fucking AJ Klein, bro. Mm-hmm. What a bro! The guy comes in, he does his job, he's all over the field. I love the guy. I am a big fan of AJ Klein now. Like I was not, and now I'm a huge fan. I think that guy brings a lot to this team, man. I'm glad. I'm super happy that we kept him on the team, man. Thank God.
Yeah,
he's a hell of a player.
Greg Cassell said on today's One Bills Live that having AJ Klein is, it's that security blanket for Milano or Edmonds. You have a guy who knows the defense, who's a solid professional that could probably start on a lot of teams.
Yeah, bro. He brings it, bro. He has energy. He's faster than what I thought. Like that dude gets in the backfield quick, bro. He chases down running backs. That's why I'm not really worried about Jonathan Taylor. I'm not, man. AJ Klein has done a phenomenal job.
This week, offensive X factor for me, Mr. Diggs. He's gonna have back-to-back weeks where he's gonna go off. We're gonna start feeding that guy in the second half of the season. We're gonna see a lot of like we did last year, And then defensively, I'm gonna say Poyer.
Nothing like
Jordan Poyer. I think he's gonna be the X factor. I have a feeling we're gonna bring him down in the box. I think he's gonna get another pick. I wouldn't be surprised to see Poyer take it to the house.
Hey, listen. We lead the league in turnovers.
Yep.
Why not?
Yep. So Diggs and Poyer are mine. Sanders and Oliver are yours. I really enjoy when we stop and we give love to others. Klein, he played a fantastic game. We didn't even talk about him in the first half with the Jets, but you're right. Also got to tip my cap, and one of these weeks I'm going to take Leslie Frazier as my X factor because that guy is a freaking amazing. I enjoy him while we can, Mafia, because he's not going to be around here very much longer.
I keep saying it. I keep saying it. And listen, matter of fact, man, maybe you stole my thing. when we go against the Pats, that's going to be my X factor on defense. I'm stealing it from you right now. Frazier is going to be my X factor against the Patriots. All right, I'm calling.
Oh, you're gonna steal him from me already, huh?
Yes.
Weeks early, you take him.
Yes.
Stefan, how you doing, bud? We're every Friday night. This time we're live. We're here every Friday. Scott comes in and says, Klein 2 sacks, 1 interception. I like that.
That would be a sick.
Like
the AFC Defensive Player of the Week.
Yep. Daniel Gars comes in and says 27-20 Bills. I like that one too. Spin people were saying the same thing about Daboll and the Chiefs OC last year. Yeah, you're right.
No,
they were talking them up.
Yeah, but Frazier, there's a huge
difference. The difference is Frazier has previous experience and success, because Frazier actually took Minnesota to the playoffs a couple times.
Yep. Not only that, right? Our defense has been, except for last year, he's proven himself, and players absolutely love playing for Leslie Frazier. They love. I've never heard a bad thing from a player about Leslie Frazier.
They say he's just very calm. He's like even keel all the time.
That's
good or bad. He's very even keel.
Yeah, bro. Listen, if we needed a head coach, God forbid, I would take Leslie. I really would.
I will say, Spins asking how many head coaches I think openings will be. I think there's gonna be 5 this year. Don't ask me the teams yet. As we get closer to the playoffs, we'll bring this back up and we'll have a conversation about which teams we think are going to. I think there's going to be about 5.
Yeah, there usually is. To be honest with you, there's usually anywhere from 4 to 5 coaches per year on average. I would think 3 to 5, something like that. They get changed. So
I like this one.
Opening.
Mike Trotter comes in and says McKenzie's going to take one to the house. A special team touchdown. We're going to get a special team touchdown.
How's that? Hey, by the way, there's another guy. Speaking of him, that dude McKenzie, and I said it last season. He's our Swiss Army knife. I love Isaiah McKenzie. I knew he would be just fine in the kick return department. I thought he brought better speed than Roberts from last season. Roberts is a safety net. He's smarter. I think he's a better. He's very you trust. He makes
better decisions.
Yeah,
he's more consistent on the decisions.
He can make
more explosive.
Exactly. Like he could take it to the house. You know what I mean? But he also can bobble the ball, right?
Yep.
Or misplay a kick.
Yep.
But
I get it. I like it. Stefan comes in and says, Daboll and Trubisky are going to the Steelers. Where Mike Tomlin's not going anywhere.
He's not. Dude, that dude's a solid.
I will call you crazy because I don't think Tomlin's going anywhere. I do believe Daboll and Trubisky are going to end up together somewhere.
Yeah.
I just don't know where yet. I just don't know where yet. I do believe they will end up together somewhere, but I just don't know where.
Yep.
Here's another one. Here we go. Can we add McKenzie taking one to the house that isn't called back, please? Right? Because I think he has 2 this year that he's taking.
I think
called back.
I think
he has 2. One kick, 1 punt. I think he has 1 kick, 1 punt. Right?
I hate that shit. There's nothing more frustrating.
And the sad part is those holdings come on those special team only guys.
Right.
That we kept. Right. Oh, irritating as hell. So, all right.
By the way, Gabe Davis.
Maybe Daboll and Trubisky go into the Bears. Well, I doubt Trubisky's going back to the Bears, especially considering they have, young Fields there.
Right.
But, oh man, could you see Daboll bringing Trubisky back with him just because he knows the offense and and Fields has to fight Trubisky for the job?
No, I don't see that happening.
Chicago riots if that happens.
Yeah, I don't see that happening. I don't see it happening.
So what do you got? What do you got on tap for this week, bud?
Saturday tomorrow, I got the AFC Shakedown at 7:30, and then I'm doing from now on Sunday pregame show, which I usually start around 12, and then a quick halftime show, and then a post game usually right after the game, 15-30 minutes after the game. And then that's it. And then next week, because we're playing on Thanksgiving, Mikey, more than likely, it's not 100% yet, but we're probably going to do a show on Wednesday instead of Friday. But we'll announce that next week sometime. Like
Who knows?
Monday
Maybe we'll do Wednesday and Friday. We'll figure it out.
Yeah. So just a heads up on that, guys.
Yep. No, I agree. I'll also talk with Paul and Mario, find out what if they have any plans for their shows this week. But I like to do it before the game so we can give our predictions and our X factors to watch. I wouldn't be opposed to doing 2 this week, depending on the outcome and what we're looking at. Because but we have a long ways away after Thursday's game. Because we don't play until on Monday night. So, we've got a long ways to go.
I hate those long waits, man.
And yes, please don't forget to hit the like button. That helps the YouTube algorithm. We appreciate everyone joining us. This is always fun. Still blows my mind anybody wants to hear me talk Bills, but hey, I appreciate you guys riding with us. Tommy, here's one for you. Dude,
I gotta listen.
Could you do a play-by-play? Could you do that? I'll tell you. I don't know if I could do that.
I can't because I like the volume up high, and I'm so in a zone, guys. When I'm watching, like I am so focused in football, I can't look down and type like while I can't do it. I would love to if I could multitask somehow like that, but I can't. I'm too focused on the game, and I'll be doing way too many F-bombs, which I don't care. I say the F word all the time. You'll see me at halftime. Put it that way.
maybe we'll figure this out, Tommy. Maybe one game towards the end of the year, me and you jump on your channel live, and I'll take care of the admin stuff, and you can, do the play-by-play and do your R-rated Tommy stuff. But I'll tell you, I struggle with that because I did jump on with Mario, and I am not a good fan to watch, while I'm watching a game. My emotions are hot.
It's the best of you. Yeah.
I'm pretty reserved when I come here, and I calm down. But like right at the moment, like I had to remind myself that I was live with Mario.
Right.
As I was during that Titans game. It was rough. Dude, it was rough.
I told Joe I can't come on the Jaguar game. I literally flat out told him. I said, Joe, never mind. I can't come on.
Matter of fact, I did that halftime show, and then Joe disappeared. He had technical difficulties, and I was with the chat. So,
yeah, dude.
Maybe me and you will figure out a way to do an R-rated play-by-play.
Yeah, that's true.
Here Scott says, record yourself watching it.
Oh, dude, you guys were getting a kick out of me, bro. I'm off the chain.
I'm screaming at the TV, by the way.
Yeah. Dude, I'm
texting Tommy during the game, pissed off.
I do tweet. I do.
I don't tweet. I just text.
I do. I do tweet a lot, but only during breaks. Like, I don't tweet while the game's going on, but like a commercial, I'll be like, motherfucking deal, fucking. Kind of bullshit, but then there's a positive play. I also, by the way, because there's some people who only tweet negative shit. I don't do that. I do both. Like if we're playing good, I'm like, hell yeah, exactly. That's why we got Klein, or that's what I'm talking about. Like, so just bear that in mind, guys. I tweet both good and bad. I call it how I see it. I'm not gonna bite my tongue. I'm not like one of those rah-rah fans. Like everything's gonna be all fine, and we're like 3-3 halftime. Like that's not me.
I text Tommy and Paul during the games, whatever I'm feeling at that time. So, good or bad, I text them both saying, that's the shit we were just talking about last night. They must have watched our show because they're doing exactly what we said. Or what the fuck are they thinking? So, it is what it is. Anything else you got going on for this weekend? Is that it?
No, man. I'm in Detroit. It's getting cold, which I love. Your son, you're from California. Mikey's from California. Yep. Beautiful weather. I'm sure he's in the 70s, man.
60s. We're in the mid 60s during the day. So it's about 65 during the day. At night, we're in the high 40s. It's keep your windows open weather right now.
Okay. Cool, man. Other than that, man. Other than that, and by the way, guys, my channel, man, I'm almost to the point where I'm finally monetized. 100 hours away. So subscribe and watch my stuff. Please help me out. Support me. Mafia Sports Report. It will be very helpful. for me. I'm still growing as far as the channel goes. I appreciate all of you guys though, because Scott's always coming to me. I have a lot of guys in here that I recognize. Jack, I appreciate you. So, and by the way, hashtag man, this is awesome. I love coming on here, and Mikey, it's been a fun first half of the season with doing this, man.
Absolutely, bud. I appreciate it. I'm very new to this. As you know, as we go through it together, I think things get easier. The show gets moving. We appreciate Paul and Mario for the platform they give us to do this weekly show. And hopefully we'll continue doing it as we move forward. So for the rest of you, go Bills.
Hello, fellow Bills fans. Sean Rogers, realtor and lead of the Mr. Rogers Homes team. Did you know that real estate is one of the best ways to build wealth, and right now is one of the best times to own an investment property in Arizona? Please reach out to me. I'd be more than happy to answer any of your questions so we can take the next step to your financial freedom here in the Valley of the Sun, utilizing real estate. As always, God bless America and go Buffalo!